Hi, I am Linda Deir, and this guy.
This guy over here is Ray Hawley, the Executive Director of all things needing directing and the Chief Spelling and Grammar Officer.
He is. Anytime I need, Ray, how do you spell this or that? Here it comes, Linda.
And I'm usually right. How do I do that?
You're amazing, Ray.
Even words that I've never used before.
You know what's amazing? I just have to say this. The first time, I've been married, Ray's my third husband.
Well,
finally got it right because I didn't pick him. The guides picked him, all right? When you read Guided, you'll understand how that happened, part 4. Anyway, the first one was in real estate. He started in real estate, and that's what I was drawn to do anyway, the first part of my life. And the second one was into computers. That's where I learned all the technical skills, not from him, but just in osmosis, like an osmosis of being around it all and having to learn it for this project. All right. So I got what I needed there, and we started the first internet ISP up in Sedona when in 1994 we were the first ISP in northern Arizona for the internet. And then I meet Ray, and your degree or your
my area of study,
was
English.
See, and I became a writer. So see how this works.
See, I thought I would have been a writer, but here
I know
I end up spelling for a writer.
So anyway, see how the universe works, how the guides put you on your path and put you where you need to be at just the right time and connect you with the people that are right for you at that time. So
I'm like your spelling guru.
He's much more than that.
And you're my webmaster for my new website.
I am. Anyway, it's interesting how things work out. And that's why it's just fascinating, you guys. Keep writing down what's going on in your life so you can follow what's happening, because you can't see it when you're in it. All right. So like always, we love having you guys on Tuesday nights. We love our special time with you. And tonight, we're going to be talking about Linda's Weekly Guided Insights that came out today in Tuesday's email. For those of you who are signed up for it, make sure you're signed up for it. You can find out how to do that in the description of this video. Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, I ask my spirit guides every time we do these. What's the most important thing for you to know right now? We channel these insights using Ask the Universal Channel, the same way your spirit guides and angels communicate with you in a private coaching session with me. You will find the link for that in the description of this video too, so look for it there. Tonight, the spirit guides will be talking about how most people are living a fear-based life. And again, this was published today in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. So the people who are signed up for it got that in their email and have that to work with. In fact, we have 2 people who have already commented on it.
Their comments.
And Ray's going to read those in just a moment. And like always, Ray, my hero, my friend, my everything, okay? He will be monitoring the Facebook feed tonight. So feel free to let me know what's on your mind regarding tonight's insight. All right. Most people are living a fear-based life. Most people are living a fear-based life and don't even realize it. Are you one of those people? Living a fear-based life is something you were taught starting at an early age. People live a fear-based life because they are disconnected and don't feel protected. So who is looking out for you? Most haven't felt protected in any significant way since they were a baby. Think about that. Living a fear-based life happens when you forget who you are, causing you to give up before you even get started because you're scared. So if you are not connected to your guides and source energy, You won't feel protected. And when you don't feel protected, you will be driven by fear. There's just no other way to do it, no other way to live, no other option. In my book, Guided, Chapter 1, the first thing I noticed was how everyone here in this world was fearful, making this life hard when it wasn't supposed to be like that. But I was the only one who realized it, which made being here in this world so hard for me from the beginning of my life. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Okay, Ray, who do we have with us tonight, Ray?
We have Linda Schwartz. Hi, Linda Schwartz. Denise Godina Newstead. Howdy, she says. I told everybody to say howdy when I come in. So.
Now, who is this?
Denise Gordino Newstead. She's new. She's
okay,
new.
Okay.
Welcome.
Welcome.
And we have Joy. Hi, Joy.
Joy.
And we have Bridget.
Bridget. You guys are stars tonight. You're going to see why. All right.
That's right.
We love having you comment on these posts. Thank you for doing that.
So
and we're going to get into that because it helps the people who show up, who want to learn, who want to understand this better, so they quit doing it. All right. And you both had a great perspective on living a fear-based life, how it feels, or how it feels to be connected, doing your journal writing. You know, we talk about writing in your journal each day for 15 minutes a day so that you stay connected, you understand, you stay conscious of what's going on in your life, so you're not caught off guard anymore, all right? So these are two perspectives that came through today on this that are fascinating, so go ahead.
All right. I'll get close to the microphone here where I can see all of this.
Okay.
First comment is from Bridget. Bridget says, during the month of December, last month, she had more free time to work on daily spiritual practices to develop her connection with her spirit guides. Then, earlier this month, she got distracted with her work and day-to-day things and some family drama, and she started to feel disconnected. Today, I got some news that there would be a delay in a plan. I had to start some vocational training. I think that the upside of the delay is that I will have time to redevote herself to her daily connection practices, and she feels that these should be stronger and better developed before she goes on this new training path.
See, now that's interesting. Now, here's what Bridget did. I just want to recap this thing. In part 3 of My Guided Journey, it's called My Journal Writing. And what she did is this would be equivalent to writing down what it was that happened in Bridget's life. Okay, this insight just happened to bring it to light. All right, it inspired her to realize something. So she wrote it down, and then she talked about how it felt at the end when she looked back at the situation, when she looked at it after it was written down. Then what she realized from it was how she really needed to get more solid with her journal writing. Okay. And that's the action she's going to take. You can't take the action on anything that you can imagine until you realize what it means to you, okay? But you've got to write it down. That's what Bridget's talking about. She's talking about part 3 of My Guided Journey, the journal writing part, right here. So she's getting it, all right? It's through doing it every day, you guys, and writing down and spending 15 minutes a day in part 3, writing down what's unusual and out of the ordinary. Like something happened in Bridget's life that was out of the ordinary,
right.
Okay? And she realized so much from it only by writing it down, realizing how it felt, what she realized, and now the action she's going to take. She's got this thing. Okay.
So it's kind of like when you write it down every day, you stay connected.
You absolutely.
But then you have a period of time when you don't do it, or you don't do it as often, whatever. That's when all the confusion comes in, the doubt comes in.
What happened is Bridget got busy in January,
right?
And she wasn't being as consistent with the 15-minute a day practice, which caused her to be vulnerable to what's going on in this world, and panic and that type of thing. That's what caused her to be vulnerable, is missing her 15-minute meeting with her spirit guides. Because what happens, you guys, when you write every day in your journal, you're not just writing about what happened. You're writing, in your writing comes through guidance that you didn't even expect. It's called automatic writing. Okay, so go ahead, Ray.
So that's kind of like shutting down the guidance if you don't do it.
Right, you're missing. What's happening is there's information coming through every single day. And when you don't show up every single day, then you've got gaps in what they've been trying to tell you, show you, point you in true north. You've got gaps in it, okay? And that just makes your life hard when it doesn't need to be like that. There we go.
I have an analogy.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that I was a professional musician and a rock and roll star for a long time.
He was.
And it has to do with practice. Practice is just like writing in your journal. You need to sit down, practice an hour a day, And when you do that, you're fine. But if you stop for a day, if you miss a day, and you go back, you notice it as a musician.
Right. Like Ray would say, he'd go out and he'd play because he had gigs all the time. He'd go out and he'd go, Linda, I noticed a difference in the way I played when I didn't practice like I was supposed to.
That's it. One day, you miss one day, and the musician notices it. You miss 2 or 3 days, and like your family and people who are around when you're practicing notice it, and you miss it for a week, the audience notices it.
That's amazing. Okay, think about that, you guys. Okay, that's another look at it from a different perspective so you can see how important it is. Okay, you know what this is about? This is about you taking care of yourself so that decisions that you make are coming from clarity, all right? Not from somebody forcing you or putting pressure on you or fear. Okay, Ray, go ahead with the next one.
Do you want me to read your response or not?
Oh, yes, please
okay.
Go ahead.
Here's the response to Bridget's.
I left the response for both of them.
Right. Okay. Linda says to Bridget, good point, Bridget. Writing in your journal for 15 minutes a day, every day, is the key to staying connected. The benefits of doing this will show up the most when your daily life presents challenges and the fear returns. You will have a history of what was going on in your life up to that point when you felt connected. Journal writing about what you are becoming aware of is the history you will need to refer back to when it feels like your life is starting to fall apart.
Right.
It's insurance for your future. Remember, you cannot see it when you're in it, so you must write it down so you can go back and look at it.
It's so true.
It sounds so easy.
And it is easy. See, we make this hard, you guys. Our inconsistencies in our life is what makes it hard. It's not supposed to be hard. We just have to show up and be more consistent. Okay, go ahead, Ray.
Okay, the second comment came from Joy, and Joy is on tonight.
Great, Joy.
For many years, I have lived in fear of, excuse me, let me start over. For many years, I have lived in fear about everything. I was afraid of making decisions, of being wrong, of being liked or not liked, of being alone, or being held back by others. My life had been so stressful, I often wondered if it was worth it.
That's a powerful statement.
It is. Within the last 2 years, my guides had a recurring message of trust and letting go. So they told her she must trust and let go.
Just every time things got piled up on her, it was her mantra was, her guides sent her, was joy, trust, and let go.
Let go. It was not easy to let go, even though I wanted to. Intellectually, I knew that worrying about things would not make the outcome any better. And recently, I have seen the results of working on letting go of the fear. The freedom of being stress-free has changed everything about my life. I am not being triggered into fear at this time. Living without fear allows me to be more authentic.
It's the truth, because here, let me just say this before you read what I wrote, Ray. Back to her. Being more authentic, that says it all. What that means, what she's really saying here, is that when you're not in fear, you are who you are. You are you. When you are not in fear. But when you are in fear, you shut down who you are, and this world is all there is, and you, the real you, retreats. Because it can't live in fear. It doesn't know how to live in fear. Only this part of you that's here in this world knows how to do that. Okay, and that's a horrible way to live. Joy knows that all too well. Okay, and the reason Joy knows that is because she never went anywhere. Joy just had to get this into perspective, this world, the way she reacts to this world, the way it feels like she's not protected, and she's not protected, you know, that this part of her, the real part of her, is okay to come back into the picture. All right. So that's really what's going on here. And she's just learning how to trust this connection, that it's real and that it's always there. All right.
Just do a little technical fix. There we
Okay,
go.
Ray. So go ahead.
With your response, Linda's response. The key for you, Joy, has been to just let go. This single focus has prevented doubt from taking over your life. The doubt, this is important, the doubt precedes all fear. First you start to doubt or second guess yourself. Or
It starts with doubt.
Right.
You start doubting yourself and you go, well, I don't know, maybe, what do you think? You know, you start asking other people what they think, and what's that got to do with anything?
They don't know anything more than you do.
They're just as lost as you are, all right?
Yeah, plus Joy said above, she made the statement that she was afraid of making decisions, of being wrong, of being liked or not liked. Well, what's left? You're either liked or not liked. So why would you be afraid of either one?
That's being frozen.
Right.
That's being traumatized. I'm going to say this. That's trauma that happened long ago where it's still controlling the person. All right, go ahead, Ray.
Okay, Linda says, the doubt precedes the fear. The doubt was too strong to take on. That's why letting go has worked so well for you. It's not that you are ignoring all the things that require your attention in your daily life. It's just that you have become okay with what is. Important words. Doubt can't creep in when you aren't resisting the what is. This allows you to see the truth about any situation so you can remain present and capable of making the right decision. It's also when your spirit guides can reach you so you can receive their guidance. Yeah, this what is thing, people don't think about the what is or accept the what is. They're always looking at the what if. Well, what if this? What if that? What if that? And that's where the doubt comes in.
That's negotiating with reality. That doesn't even make sense, okay? It is what it is. And here is, Joy is at a point where she can accept that. But she's learned to accept the what is, but she still has to be careful that she doesn't slip back into that old behavior, and she knows that. The journal writing, part 3, keep that journal writing up every day, 15 minutes a day. I want you guys to know that this is going to become something you look forward to. This is your best friend. Guided. My spirit guide angels were my best friends and life coaches. Best friends. That's why this works. You don't have a best friend like you do with your guides. Nobody in this world could live up to the level of best friend that your guides do. They're always there for you. They never judge you. They're ready to help you all the time, but they can't reach you when you're living in fear, okay? It's just not possible. So you need to let the pressure off you, okay? Whatever it takes, stretch out your upper body and breathe and really stretch your body out. Get the energy moving back to your upper body. They come through your upper body, okay? And let yourself breathe and let it come through. And be relaxed and be who you are, okay? Stretch. Stretching is critical. I do a lot of stretching every day, by the way. I don't know if I really talked to you guys about that. I've talked to you about the breathing a lot. But the stretching, wow, the stretching, you've got to do it.
Stretching is more important than
exercise.
Rigorous exercise.
It is. It's really
It's the rigorous exercise that you can hurt yourself with because you didn't stretch enough.
And when you stretch, you can't even help but breathe. You've got to breathe. Your body is alive again. It's moving again. It's circulating the way it should be. Okay, so this whole thing, it's a physical, it's a spiritual, it's a psychological thing, you know? It's all together, you guys. So what do we have there, Ray?
Well, we have a bunch more people. Let's see. Kathy's with us. Lori.
You guys, your questions. We want to hear about your questions tonight. We had some really good comments that we just went through and Ray read about how this insight about most people are living a fear-based life and don't even realize it.
Okay, we have a good question. Denise, the new Denise, not Australia Denise.
Okay. Nice to have you.
She says, so to begin the daily writing, should she pose a question or just sit quietly to see what comes out in your thoughts and then write it down?
Ray, can I ask you something? Is she in the group?
She's new. I'll have to check.
Okay. Okay. Say the question. Ask.
The question is, to do the daily writing, should she ask her question first, or should she just sit quietly to see what comes out in her thoughts?
Okay. Write down, Denise. Start with this. Start writing 15 minutes a day in your journal every day about what was unusual or out of the ordinary.
Right.
Start with that. These are more like statements about what you noticed, what happened that day that doesn't usually happen.
Right.
You woke up, it might even be a dream. That's really a good thing to write down, okay? But anything that caught you off guard that you thought was interesting, well, that what didn't happen. But that's never happened before, or they never said it like that before. What is it I need to catch there that I can't see right now? Because again, I'm going to tell you all, in your defense, you can't see it when you're in it, the moment it happens. So that's why writing it down when you look at it the next day, or you look at it in a week from now, and you tie together what you wrote each day, and you just breeze through your journal and do your review, you're going to see what guidance is showing you. You're going to love this. And then you're going to be able to say, Denise, ask a question. It's going to prompt you to ask a question because your curiosity is now piqued. Okay?
Yeah,
it all starts with why, by the way.
Well, why is the question you ask, but
right.
But what you have to write down first is the what happened, when did it happen,
right.
Where did it happen, who was there when it happened,
right?
And then
it's in the details.
The details. What was different or odd or out of the ordinary in your life? What happened? Did somebody say something to you when you're standing in line at Starbucks waiting for your coffee, and you thought it was quite odd that some stranger walked up to you and said something?
Or let me use this one. Or you said something that was unusual and out of the ordinary. It happens. You just go, and you go, where did that come from? Okay. I didn't think that. I didn't know that. Write those things down. Right. That's gold nuggets, you guys.
It is. Right. Write down the what, the when, the where, the who. Those are the matter-of-fact things. And then you formulate the question, why? Why did this happen? Why did this happen now? Why did this happen?
The reason Ray's saying this, Denise, and all of you, is because when you ask a why question, why has no agenda.
Right.
What are the other ones you said?
Well, the other ones are matter of fact. What, when, where, who.
All have an agenda.
Right.
Why is the only one that doesn't have an agenda. In other words, you don't have an outcome in mind when you ask a question that leads with why.
Right.
Okay, it's real important. On my website, lindadeir.com, you can't miss it. If you look in this, if you go to the little search hourglass, put in the power of why. There's a blog post on the power of why that gets into this and how important that is about asking your question, Denise. Okay, it's really good. All right, go ahead, Ray.
Oh, okay. Everything sound is back working for everybody. Thank you.
Oh, it wasn't working?
Well, Lori was having a problem. Probably a short in a cord there, Lori.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere.
Okay.
Kathy says she finds that once she starts writing, then more and more information just starts coming through.
It's amazing, and it truly is amazing. It's how you get back to where you began. It takes you back to the person that came here into this life at the beginning when you were new, and knew itself. It remembered itself. It was still connected to where it came from, to its source energy, to the spirit guides and angels. It was still connected. It was present. All right. But it was rudely awakened when it was born into this world. I remember it.
This why question is so important. Like next time you go to a party, when you meet somebody new at a party,
This is practice.
this is how you practice the why thing. First thing people ask you is, well, what do you do for a living?
What?
What do you do for a living?
Not why.
Because that question has an agenda.
It does.
It puts a dollar value on you to let that person know whether or not they have anything to gain.
Right. It's about how they can benefit.
If you tell them, I sell insurance, don't run. But if you tell them you're an investment advisor, then maybe they'll stick around because they think they can make some money from you. So rather than telling people what you do for a living, tell them why you do
Okay,
it.
let me ask you a question, Ray.
Hmm?
Watch this in practice. I mean, in real life, all right? He's talking theory here. Let's do this thing. Are you ready, Ray?
Oh, I'm always ready on.
Why do you do recruiting?
Okay. Why did I do it for 25 years?
Okay, those are two different questions.
Right. Why? Because it was,
Which why are you answering?
well, why do I do recruiting?
Why he does it now?
Why I got into it was because it was sales. It was a sales type situation,
Okay,
which,
that was
which
how-
I was good at.
That was why he did it before.
Right. But once I got into it, the why changes. The why changed to you can help two people at once. You can help your client, your company, solve a problem, and you can help the person that you recruit for that company make a big step forward in their life.
An advancement.
Right.
Something better
Something better.
than where they were.
Right. And both people win. It's a win-win situation. The company wins, they get a great person, and the candidate wins because they get a big boost in their life, their lifestyle. You know, they can move, they get a raise,
More opportunities.
more opportunities, a better job, they can move to a nicer city, you know,
So why did you do it?
just for the satisfaction of putting it together. Plus
Putting what together?
the situations where they both win.
Putting people
Right.
together.
Mhm.
Okay, you hear that? That's why he did it.
And the fact-
Okay, let me say something because I've never said this to Ray before, but
Uh-oh.
I'm going to tell him now because I never asked him that question like that before until right now. All right, so here's what Ray is. He'd never guessed this, but this is what he is. He can't see it because he's in it. That's why you have to write it down. He's a matchmaker. He's a matchmaker. What are you?
I wrote it down before
What?
you said it. Matchmaker.
Yes, you. I love this.
I'm a matchmaker.
Okay, but you gotta write it down. You won't see it. Now, what we just did, we have this little kibitz going on here where we talked it out with each other, and we were willing to play role play that together. But most of the time, you don't have that person there that will even put up with listening to you, wants to even hear about you, because they're in so much pain that they need it. They're not going to give it to you when they need it more than they feel like they can give it to you. Their gas tank is empty. They don't have anything left for you. Okay? There you go. Part 3, my journal writing. This is your friend. This is your best friend. This is who's going to help you get there, just like I did with Ray. Right now, have you ever thought of yourself as a matchmaker before? Ray?
Just when I met you, hon.
Okay, Ray, have you in all honesty ever
Well,
thought?
yeah, I told people I was a matchmaker.
You did, really?
Well, yeah. They said, well, what do you do? I said, I'm an executive recruiter.
Okay, well, you never told me that.
Well,
You were
executive
holding out
recruiter
on me.
sounds better
See,
than matchmaker.
Well, I
Matchmaker
didn't.
sounds like a dating service. Well, it is kind of like a dating service. They go out on their first date, the first interview, and if they're lucky, they get a second date.
That's true, right? That's really true.
And a lot of positions and careers and jobs last longer than marriages.
Isn't that something? That's true. Yeah. So that's a very important part of a person's life. Yeah.
Okay, let's.
So that's the kind of thing. See, if you don't have someone there to go back and forth, somebody that really cares about you, that's willing to listen, somebody that's willing to listen.
That's a good point.
That is your spirit guides. They listen. They care about you more than you care about yourself. Okay? Sorry, but right now that happens to be true. The more you love yourself, the more you care about yourself, the more you learn and you are present, the more you're going to be accessible to your guides. It's a relationship of trust and love is what it is.
Okay.
You're going to understand that the more that you show up and work with me, the more you're going to understand the depth of this truth and love. All right?
Good segue. Because if you go back to Joy's comment,
yeah,
she said she had fear of making decisions, of being wrong, being liked or not liked, being alone or being with somebody, held back by others. What part in this decision-making or inability to make a decision does being alone or being isolated have? You have nobody to talk to.
I know. Most people don't.
They don't.
And that's why it's so, when you read this, the beginning of My Guided Journey, I call this book a lifeline. I am not kidding you. When I was a little kid, and being in that screwed up family I was in, and needing clarity about what was going on, my journal writing saved my life, all right? And the connection to my guides was strengthened and reinforced, and I knew what to do, and I could feel the energy. They started speaking to me in the writing. I saw it on the pages. I knew who I was. I was okay only because of that. It was my lifeline. So I was isolated. I was alone. I had nobody that cared about me. They were trying to destroy me. And it's how I not only survived it, but I mastered this connection that just I know what to do. I know when to do it. I love the connection, the flow, it's a constant thing, you guys. The guides are always sending you information, but they are never loud, but they're consistent. Okay. You need to be consistent. You need to do the same thing so that you can have this connection. You can make that solid connection and know what to do and when to do it. Know what true north is, where you're being guided to go. Every single time. You can get through anything with this guidance, you guys. And come through it in spades, okay?
I have a question.
You go ahead, Ray.
Do I have to write it in, send it in, or can I just tell you?
Well, I guess we'll let him tell us.
Okay. How do babies make decisions?
They just know. Babies just know. You all came in with that.
That's what you all have in common. You all started as a baby.
You knew. Yep. So you already have it. It's inherent in you. You were born with it. This world worked on it and it tested it and it scared you. And when that happened, you retreated. The real you retreated. Okay. As far as it could go back to where it came from, that's where it went, because it didn't know how to handle this. It couldn't compete with this. It couldn't deal with this. And then you grew up, and then you didn't know any other way because you lost your way, because this is all you had, is this world. This is not all there is, you guys. I've got a blog post on that one too. This life is not all there is. Far from it. You have nothing to be afraid of. There's no reason for the fear. You write down what scares you. If you guys mess up, write it in your journal. It's nobody's business but your own. And your spirit guides, your best friends, are going to see you tell the truth. Tell the truth. Learn to practice telling the truth by writing in your journal. You know what's going to come next? Love. And you know who it's going to come from? Not from you. It's going to come from your guides. You're going to feel it. You're not going to understand it. You're going to remember it. It'll make you cry. You will feel so touched. You will feel blown away that you, in this world, have missed it for that long. It will blow your mind.
See, y'all, since everybody came in as a baby, they all know how babies make decisions. Babies make decisions by or through experience.
Right. They're not afraid of anything.
They think of something. Oh, they see something across the room, and oh, I wonder what that is. They take action. They crawl over there, and they check it out.
Right.
Now, like you said, doubt precedes fear. So once you start doubting, that's when the fear creeps in. Babies don't doubt. They just go over, they take action, and they have an experience.
That was you.
And they make, and that experience turns into belief. Well, that was good, or that was bad. That was hot, or that was cold, or I didn't like that, or I did like that.
That's not theory, that's practice.
Right. So action precedes belief or commitment.
That's true, or commitment.
Commitment.
Right. That's true. Until they go out and they learn on their own and test the waters themselves. Only then do they have the real reason why. Okay, you know the little kid, the relentless why. They never stop asking, why this, why that, all these whys, okay? They're not filled with fear, they're filled with why, all right? That's what they are.
And they start asking why when people start telling them they can't do something.
Yeah, that doesn't fit. See, the reason that doesn't fit is because you came here to do something. Right. You came here deliberately with a plan to get something done. You had something to do, okay? Now, the longer you're here, the more the amnesia kicks in, and you forget what the heck that was. And then the people in this world put that pressure on you, and you feel devastated. You're just overwhelmed, like what Joy talked about. Joy if she couldn't do it right if she did it this way, she couldn't do it right if she did it that way, and she doubted herself, and she's right back to where she started, and she can't seem to stop this cycle from taking hold of her, okay? That's what this world can do. That's what it has done. You guys just have to realize that happened. Some of you will get mad about it the more you realize it. But you know what, you guys? It's the law of the land. It's the way that everybody treats new people when they come in, thinking that's protecting them, that's looking out for them, that's love. And, you know, it's not true. It's really not true. You know, you're going to find out what the way things really are as you continue to write in your journal, and guidance bleeds through on the pages. You're going to see it. But doing it every day is going to be it's a secret to mastering this, to fetching it, to catching it, to not missing it anymore. You've just been missing it.
Okay, so Kathy says when she was a teenager, her journal writing was what kept her sane.
Kathy and me, man, girl.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm having it.
Five. And then Mary Elizabeth is with us. Hi, Mary.
So nice to have you.
Mary has a question.
Yeah.
Why is it that some people develop phobias?
Let's let the guides answer that. The guides want to talk.
Oh,
they're going, what about us?
What about us?
And it's what it feels like, you guys. When you talk, this is the Ask the Universal channel. I don't know if all of you know about this, but we have a group on Facebook. It's called Ask the Universal channel. It's a private Facebook group, and you have to qualify to get in. You've got to get one of our Ask the Universal channel talking boards. We've got 3 versions of them, and this is the official version that Ray and I use professionally. And this is 30 years old as of last year. It's 30 years since I created this and produced it and had it for sale. And it's a product that my spirit guides in 1988 at Christmas time asked me if I would be willing to create this with them because they needed a new way of speaking with you all. This group that I'm talking about is a group of teachers who teach you how to do this, all right, that Ray and I trained how to do this the right way. So you get real answers. Here we go, Ray. We're going to let them, and the question was?
Phobias. Why do some people have phobias? Where do they come from?
Okay. in connection with this fear-based life thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Phobias are developed from fears, but not all fears are phobias. For example, people could have a phobia about spiders or bugs or swimming, thinking they'll drown. These are made up in your mind. All it takes is practice, taking action to eliminate the fear. If you are afraid of the water, take swimming lessons and see that you have nothing to be afraid of. If you have a bug phobia, get some bugs and watch them.
Study them.
An ant farm.
I loved my ant farm.
To see how these creatures
operate.
Yeah, operate. People who are afraid of spiders never had a tarantula as a pet. They make good pets.
Yeah, they do.
Babies don't have phobias, although they do have some fears that are justified. Babies aren't afraid of much, but loud noises scare them, and once they start learning to walk, they have a fear of falling down. These are instinctual fears, not something that someone told them about. So before you let any fear become a phobia, you need to study it and ask yourself, why am I afraid of this? What is it about this I don't understand?
It's like being paranoid. I'd say phobia feels something like that. It's paranoid. You're not only are you afraid of the water but you're really paranoid. The more you let it go on, the larger it seems to build into something that's really fearful. Okay, so you've got to get a hold of it. Well, before it gets a hold of you. All right. Part 3, my journal writing. Write in this every day for 15 minutes. Write about your phobias. If you have a phobia, tell it on the pages. Don't bother talking to somebody else. You're just going to give an opinion. When you write it in here, you're going to find your solution. That's the difference.
See, a phobia, if you tell other people your phobias, a lot of people will laugh at you. Because they'll think, oh, that's nothing to be afraid of.
Right. You hear that, especially kids. Kids will say that a lot. You're afraid of that?
You're afraid to climb that tree because you think you might fall?
You're a scaredy cat?
Yeah, there you go.
A scaredy cat?
Scaredy cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we rate questions?
No more. Let's see. No more questions. Come on, people.
Oh, you guys are doing good.
Questions or comments? Operators are standing by for your call.
Yeah, this is good stuff, you guys. This thing about living a fear-based life. Here's the worst part of it. Living a fear-based life and not even realizing it. Wow. How did that happen? So it went from doubt, and when when it didn't get your attention at doubt, when you let doubt control you, it quietly snuck into becoming fear. And when it was fear, it felt like this, like, what do I do now? Now it's panic. It's total panic, all right? Your guides can't reach you. Nobody can reach you when you are consumed with fear. Nobody. It turns into phobias, into exaggerations on every front. Everything scares that person, right? So that's not the why you came here. You did not come in loaded with fear.
Nope.
You did not. You learned it after you got here. You learned it. And every one of us learned it to some degree. I got thrown into the guts of fear at 20 months old when my mom almost killed me. And I'm telling you, I thought, I never expected to wake up back in this world. And when I did, that's when I realized, holy cow, that's when this all was set into motion. And I met these guides and I learned all this stuff. Go ahead, Ray.
Denise Godino says, oh my God, I have this daily calendar of fun facts. Okay, one of those things every day has got something new to learn. Funny enough, the fact about the babies was just a few days ago. I seem to have a lot of coincidences like this. I've noticed that. Should I start writing them down?
Hello? Yes, Denise, you need to write them down. You've got all this. Think of these things as gold nuggets. The guides keep handing you more, and they keep sending you more. And here's another one, and another one, and more, and more. And the more that you are open, you realize that you write it down, you capture it. When you write it down in your journal in part 3, you've grabbed on to your nuggets. They're not ever going to be forgotten. You will always be able to go back and review and remember what that was. Because these are special messages directed at you to make sure that you don't miss the life you came here to live, you guys. This is how you're going to see it on the pages. You're going to see it for yourself. This is a magical, magical process. I haven't talked about part 2 tonight. I don't usually talk about part 2. I'm going to be doing a webinar, live events that are going to be paid events. And we're going to get into part 2, and we're going to help you not just on your journey here, but heal that past that restricts you and limits your future. We want everything released from you. We do not want anything holding you back. We want you to understand every facet of yourself so that as you move through your life, you are living it fully like you never, ever even imagined you could. The whole thing. You will have no regrets in this lifetime when you follow this. Okay, I'll let you know when I'm going to be doing this. All right, it's going to be done like every month. We're going to do these, right, Ray? That's how we're going to start out. Yeah, and then you guys are going to have, opportunities to email me, and if you have questions and as you're working with it, and meet with me on Tuesdays like right now, because I work with the journal with you guys on Linda's weekly guided insights on the topics they talk about. It's all integrated. It's called the Guided Journal Writing System. And there are 3 books. Guided, when people read Guided, they get what this is about. All right? And then the Guided Journal Writing System, which is taking the journey back in your life, okay, to heal the past so it no longer restricts you. And then the journal writing, which is 15 minutes a day, every day, which the last 20 pages of my guided journey has. But this is just the journal writing pages after you take your journey. And you will never, ever be without your answers again. You will never be lost. You will know what to do, and you will know when to do it. You will know when to get in and when to get out of situations at just the right time. You don't need to suffer anymore. If you guys are done with that, this is going to change your life. All right. Ray, what do we have? Anything else there?
Well, here's a big question.
Yeah.
Lori says, how about deciding to become a mom or not? That's a big responsibility.
Yeah. Lori who?
Lori Sorensen.
Okay. How about becoming a mom or not? Well, there's a lot of ways to find out exactly what that means in your life. Becoming a mom, that's unique to everybody. We all have our own reasons why we would do that, our own reasons why we are here, and the agreements we made before we came into this life regarding something like that. Okay, so start using the journal and writing in it. All right, when you guys get with me on these events I'm going to be putting on, we're going to get into those kind of things, and we're going to work on those kind of things as it relates to your life. And if it's, how it relates to your life, each one of you is different. And each one of you, as I work with specific people in the webinar that I'm going to be putting on, I will pick one of you guys, or let the guides pick one of you guys. One of you guys will be picked, and I will focus on you, and we are going to grind through this stuff. And I mean, we're going to blast through it. And you're going to have so much to write down. You'll have to watch that webinar over again and over again and over again so you can write it all down and not lose it. So it makes a shift in you, all right? It's all about that, you guys. You are here with me tonight because you know that you could be doing better. You know that your life, the one that you came here to live, it's not happening. And you want it to happen. That's why you're with me tonight. What do we have?
So Linda Schwartz says online there's a terrific questionnaire that she could send out, and it's called "Am I Parenting Material?" It's got like 30 questions, you can go through it and answer them all. That'd be great.
Linda, send that.
Post it in the feed.
Yeah, Linda will probably have to post it in the feed after we're done. She might be able to go out and grab it and put it up quickly so you can all see it. But Denise, look for it. And is it Denise?
No, it was Lori.
Lori. Okay. You know what? Also, Linda, if you could private message that to Lori, then we know that Lori will get that. All right.
Great. Okay, here's the interesting question. Mary Elizabeth says, how about fears? Can people get fears from a past life? Can some fears come from a past life?
Definitely, most definitely. And when you take the journey back in part 2, you will bump into that. You will find that there. It will bleed through one of those chapters, 18 chapters in part 2, that will bring attention to it. Because something in this life that you are fearful of, that you can't identify, you will notice it started to show up in chapter 3 or chapter 6. It'll show up when somebody triggered something in you, and there it was. So yeah.
Yeah, those past life things. I think I have one. Remember how
you have more than one, right?
Well, I have a lot of things. I'm a work in progress. But the thing about me choking when I eat.
Oh yeah, Ray has horrible. So you know what? And then if he has anything around his neck, that's like a turtleneck is off the. It's off the lip. It's not going to happen. Or if the blanket is close to his neck, he has to get it off his neck. Somebody choked him. Probably choked him to death. Right?
Probably one of my wives.
Well, you weren't always a man in your life.
Oh.
So anyway, it's hard to say. A lot of people were hung back in the day.
There you go. I could have been swinging from a tree.
We all have trauma from the past. Definitely we have trauma from the past. But it also wakes us up, you guys. These traumas from our past that we feel in our life right now are meant to be healed. Part 2 of my guided journey. It's in there. It's in there somewhere. We're going to find it. That's how we're going to do it. All right. And the guides are going to flush it out too. So, okay, let me move on.
Yeah.
Do we have it, Ray?
Yep.
Okay, let me move on with just one announcement. Next Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. Can you believe it's 2020? Wow. Join me right here on my Facebook page, Linda Deir Author. and this will be a Q&A and commentary just like tonight, with me and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so don't miss it. In Linda's weekly guided insights, my spirit guides will be talking about, and I love this one, the importance of being lucid in dreams and in life. What does it mean to have a lucid dream? How do lucid dreams apply to your life? Unlike the material world, its inherent limitations, and with its inherent limitations, the dream world is infinite. Anything is possible when you are in a lucid dream. Being lucid in the dream means you are aware while in the dream that you are dreaming. So you can really ask for anything or make anything happen. You're the ultimate manifester in a lucid dream. You instantly become a manifester of anything that comes into your reality. You can do anything. You can ask anything. You can ask when you're in a lucid dream. You want to remember. Here's a little secret. I didn't talk about it in this. There's so many ways to recognize that you're in a lucid dream. Here's one. Here's how I learned it myself. I would be going through my day life and I would pinch myself. And if I could feel that pinch, I knew I was not in a dream. Now, why would I do that? Don't I know I'm not in a dream? Everybody knows they're not in a dream, right? No, you don't. Because one time I did this and I was in a dream. Okay? And I swear to God, I was not in a dream. It felt so real. All right? Like this life. All right? Dreams are more real than really this life is anyway. But the only reason I realized it is when I did this practice every day. I did it like 4 or 5 times a day. I made myself remember to pinch myself. And bam, I found myself in a lucid dream. There I was. I could do anything. I remembered I can do anything. So I said to my guides, I said, I'm having a lucid dream. I'm aware that I'm in this dream with you, and I can do anything I want. I was learning, okay, at the time. And they said, it's time for you to go back now, Linda. I said, oh, no. I'm in a lucid dream. I can do anything I want. I don't have to go back to this world. And they just looked at me. There was no arguing. There was no chastising. There was no argument, nothing, no point to make at all. And the minute I said that, and they said that, I was awake in this world. And I went, damn, I had, that's how fast it works, okay? It wasn't my time to leave this planet. I mean, once you guys feel what this feels like, it's like the best. There's nothing you can't do. You're free again, all right? And you're whole. Every part of you, it can experience the infinite, okay? It's like crazy good. But we came into this life to do something, okay? So that's why we're here. So you can't just say, well, I'm just going to go lucid and this thing about being lucid in your life is, it's not just a dream, it's being lucid in your life. How do you become lucid in your life? Let me show you how you do that. This is how you do that. This becomes a new level of consciousness for you. You become aware of everything at every turn. That's what lucidity really is. It's a increased awareness. Being lucid is radical awareness. And it's awesome. Once you experience that, you guys, you'll never live the unconscious life you've ever lived before. Everything that used to matter to you, most of the things that used to matter to you, will have no impact on you. You will be vibrating so much higher. You will not be interested in the things that used to interest you. It's amazing. So join me next week, and that's going to be on February 4th at 6 p.m. on Facebook Live. Okay, and tonight the guides are going to close the session about most people are living a fear-based life, and they don't even realize it. That's scary, weird.
We come to you in truth and in love. If you used fear to make a decision. That fear-based decision made over and over again became one of your belief systems. With Linda's help, we take you back on a journey, take you back through your life, all the way back to when you came here as a baby. You will see where you were taught the wrong things and were lied to about many things. You were feared into making decisions. We help you see them and fix them so you can change your belief systems going forward. Now, if you aren't writing the nuggets of wisdom that we send to you as guidance in your journal on a daily basis, you won't be able to find your way back.
To find your way back.
It's like Hansel and Gretel.
God, that to me, that hits me so hard. Oh my God. I know how important this is for all of you. You know, I walked it, you guys. I've lived it. I managed to make a connection young to something that was intelligent, something that made sense in my life, not the screwed up family I was in, or the people in this world. Come on, look what's happened here. We can do better, and if we do better, we can show other people how to do that better with their own life. They can see us as an example, and they're going to want to reach for it, all right? And that's really how the snowball effect happens, okay? So I'll let you know about when we're going to do this. And by the way, if my work changes your life in any way, share this video. Let people know about my website. Tell them about my books. Tell them that I'm live on Tuesdays, okay? And I appreciate that. That's going to help other people heal their life, all right?
Okay.
So you guys, we will see you next Tuesday. We always love our Tuesdays with you guys. So we'll see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m.
All right.
Right here on Facebook.
Stay out of trouble and be kind to each other.